Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing? All right. We are live on YouTube, Rumble, and X. But thanks for hanging out tonight. Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. For some, could still be chaotic. For some, it's getting closer to that weekend. But I'm glad you guys are hanging in there and hanging out with me. Got some articles here that really caught my eye. Now, I love Neon Genesis Evangelion, so when I saw something talking about a potential sequel, insane. So we'll see what's all that have to entail. But first, if you're new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe. We're on YouTube, X, and Rumble. And then on YouTube and Rumble in the descriptions, you can find links to my other social media. And then on my X profile on Linktree, you can also find those there. So again, make sure to smash the subscribe, punch the thumbs up, and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. Trying to do it where Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are the Power Up Podcast Show, while Tuesdays and Thursdays and other stuff is for gaming. So yeah, found some fun articles here. So let's check them out. We'll start off with some random ones that I found here. We got some updates with Gina Carano with her lawsuit against Disney. It says Gina Carano's lawyer, this is from Fandom Pulse, lists sci-fi writer John Del Arrows as authority against Disney's motion to dismiss her claim. The legal dispute between Gina Carano, the star in Disney's The Mandalorian, and the Walt Disney Company is heating up, with Carano responding to Disney's motions to dismiss her lawsuit regarding her termination. Gina Carano's response to have her claim dismissed. Her lawyer cited the Stars Entwined science fiction writer John Del Arrows' April 23 article at PJ Media titled Disney World Turns Park into Drag Show for Kids with Transgender Snow White Character. Oh my gosh. Well, that escalated quickly. So her lawyer cited this article here. In the article, John Del Arrows writes that Disney is ramping up the grooming operations at their Walt Disney World Park in Florida in 2022. The company announced that it wouldn't consider gender when casting for different characters in the park, which sparked backlash from responsible parents as they didn't want Disney World to turn into a drag show for kids. I very much agree. Why? That's weird. My StreamYards all of a sudden just decided to not be in a dark mode. Huh. Can I not like adjust that right now? Can I at least switch my background here? I guess I should have noticed that before. I think it was like that already. Anyway. So John, I'm just going to call him John because I don't want to say that name every time. So John reported on a video that surfaced of a biological man dressed as the evil queen from Snow White during a character meet and greet dinner at Walt Disney World. This dinner experience, known for its steep price tag of over $300 for a family, offers the chance for children to interact with their favorite characters. John pointed out that Disney was clearly using the occasion to promote transgenderism among children. That was also Disney's first instance of casting a man in a specifically female role within one of their parks. While a character known as Bippity previously held the non-gender role of fairy godmother apprentice, the portrayal of the evil queen involved casting a man to depict a woman. So Carano, known for her role as Cara Dune, was terminated by Disney in February 2021 due to an Instagram post drawing parallels between the treatment of political conservatives and the Holocaust. This event followed a series of controversies stemming from Carano's social media activity, where she voiced opinions against COVID 19 restrictions, questioned the legitimacy of the 2020 election, and expressed views on trans rights. Gina has filed a lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm, alleging wrongful termination and discrimination. The suit contends that Carano was treated disparately compared to her male counterparts, who also shared political views on social media. Moreover, Gina Carano accuses Disney of terminating her based on her political beliefs, a move she argues infringes upon her right to free speech and equal treatment under the law. So her lawyer, while referring to the article mentioned above, makes the argument that Disney may have protected interest in selecting a male to play the role of the evil queen from Snow White at a character meet and greet for families at its park, but it does not have a First Amendment protected interest in terminating Carano for her political speech. And that's where the article ends. Very interesting. I mean, I would love to see Gina win her lawsuit, because this garbage has got to stop. It's especially since a character has already been established. It's like, that's it. It's a woman. It's not that hard. You know, all these people like want to be like, oh, it's complicated. No, it's not. It was never complicated until 2016. It was never complicated. It may have started way back in the day, but those people were seen as weirdos, sick, crazy. The people that were like pushing the whole queer ideology and all that stuff. Look into it too, because a lot of it actually stems from pedophilia. So quite disgusting. But companies be companies. But yeah, I think good move by the lawyer. Her lawyer making the argument of just pointing out the fact it's like you straight up have a dude playing the Wicked Witch, or the evil queen, I guess. Seemed fine with that. Seemed fine with Pedro Pascal with his stuff. But when it comes to Gina, that's wrong. Terminate it. So I haven't seen too much of Gina's suit, like any updates and stuff until this one. So very interesting. There you go. There's an interesting update for Gina. Her case, that is. Let's move on to something that caught my interest. That is Video Game Chronicles, once again tying in with the digital aspect of owning games and physically owning them. So digital Xbox 360 games are being discounted ahead of the upcoming store closure. The console's online marketplace will be shut in July. I completely forgot about this. But you want to get digital Xbox 360 games? You want to buy them? You better snag them quick. Going to be shutting down in July here. So a month and a half. So digital Xbox 360 games are being discontinued or discounted. Well, they are being discontinued, but discounted ahead of the closure of the console's online marketplace this summer. Although users will still be able to re-download their previous purchases for the foreseeable future after July 29th. Okay, so yeah, roughly 2 months and a half, because it's pretty much the end of the month. It will no longer be possible to buy any more games or DLC from the Xbox 360 marketplace. Rip that, my friends. That sucks. If you want to get like good deals or something. Because I got a couple games. So while many of these games will still be playable via other means, I love the via other means. What could that mean? Around 220 of them will essentially disappear forever. VGC, Video Game Chronicle analysis, has showed. After it was announced that the store would be closing, Microsoft's head of gaming said he'd like to find ways to ensure that hundreds of titles aren't lost when the Xbox 360's digital store closes. So maybe this article will answer it, but why are you closing it without figuring out what you need to do? Normally, you would hopefully figure out a way to do it and then make the announcement that hey, we're going to be closing this aspect of it, but you can then go direct them over to a new spot. Perfect chance to start something new at Microsoft, but I mean, that would involve actual thinking. And I mean, we're seeing how the video game companies are doing. They're doing terrible. So Microsoft has now launched the first of 3 planned waves of discount on digital Xbox 360. 66 titles have seen their prices reduced until the market's closure, 18 of which are on the aforementioned list of 222 or 20 games. I clicked the link here because I want to know what discounts we have. Alien Rage, Alone in the Dark, Arcania, Black Knight's Sword. Like, are any of these worth my time? That's the thing. Alone in the Dark, I've seen it around, but I haven't looked too far into it. Far Cry 4. I'm just looking at ones that like stand out to me. Kane and Lynch Dead Man stands okay. I had got Murder Soul Suspect on PS4 or PS3 back in the day, but that was a short but pretty good game. Oh no, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Nah, that game sucks. These are just the discount ones I'm looking at right now. I mean, a lot of these like no one cares about. I don't think. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, that's at 80%. Oh no, Thief. Despite on how bad Thief was, I have it. I still kind of want to see the reason why it's so bad. Yeah, those are the only ones. Watch Dogs. I mean, the out of this list of the current like discounts, those are the ones that kind of stood out to me. Other than that, I mean, all the other ones, who cares? So to celebrate the legacy of 360, we're working with our amazing publishing partners to bring you as many price reductions for our online store or for the Xbox 360 store on the console, Microsoft said. We'll be updating this list with more games on June 18th, so 3 days from now. And on July 16th, bring you as many repriced games as possible before the end of July. These price reductions will remain in place for each game through the 360 store, closing on July 29th. Again, why don't make a comment saying that you wish we don't want to lose all of these titles, but then say, okay, we're going to be shutting everything down. Like, they just can't think of a reason, like not so much a reason, but think of a way to kind of like figure out how to keep those titles per se, and then just maneuver it over somewhere else, which is interesting because I thought the whole point of what companies want nowadays is to go the digital route. And here you have all these digital titles that you're now shutting down. Does it make sense? Leave a comment below. I'm curious. Does anybody know why this doesn't seem to make sense? Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, aside from like licensing issues and stuff like that, but I don't think that's the reason why they're just shutting down the marketplace. Maybe it is. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Kind of scrolling, checking out here if there's any other video game news. Saints Row reboot was likely the lowest selling in franchise history. Well, of course it is. Yes. I mean, this is starting to become a talk here. We'll pull this one up. The Assassin's Creed Shadows video shows offers or the Assassin's Creed Shadows video offers a deep dive on its 2 playable characters. Yep, so this is like, hey, Poker Race, quadruple 6. Why don't they merge stores? I don't know. Who knows? It's so dumb. So Assassin's Creed Shadows video offers a deep dive on its 2 playable characters. Yeah, this is becoming the big talk recently, is the fact that they're trying to push Yusuke or Yasuke. Maybe it's Yasuke. No. Why? Hold on. I just want to check something real quick. Oh, Yasuke. One letter difference. I was thinking of Hyusuke, like Hyusuke Hirameshi from from Yu Yu Hakusho. Yasuke is probably this one. They're trying to. So I saw an excellent Twitter thread of a person complaining about why they're making this specifically about Yasuke just because he's an African, uh, real life historical African samurai. He wasn't a samurai; he was a retainer, and that's what people are pointing out. Number one, he was a retainer. Number two, but the tweet that I saw, he was a black dude, and he was saying he was pissed off about this, and he made a perfectly good argument. Is the fact that you have all of the past Assassin's Creed main characters fit in that time era and fit that ethnicity. Um, the very first one, I believe he was an Aramaic or Arab. It's been so long since I played the game, but you have that Altair. You have Altair, then you have Ezio, who's Italian. Then you have Connor, who I believe was 3, and he was Native American. But so the point that he brought out that made sense is that you had all of these Assassin's Creed videos having a main character be the person that the story is taking place of ethnicity at that time, the correct ethnicity of where the story is taking place. So now you have one that's in Japan, and here you are not representing, a Japanese samurai. You have to play the woke thing and find the one black man in Japan at the time and say, well, it's a real life historical samurai. And then of course they're rewriting history because again, the guy was a retainer. He wasn't a samurai. And I'm sure their response would be, oh, the woman's Japanese. Anyway, so set for release on November 15th, 2024, Assassin's Creed Shadows takes place in 16th century Japan. The country is heading towards a brutal path of unification where unrest grows as new coalition appear and corruptive foreign influences infiltrate the land, Ubisoft said. Players will experience the intertwined stories. And I also saw another tweet too about apparently Wikipedia is exploding for people going back and changing the like the stuff where they get the information from, like the links and stuff of Yasuke. There's a tweet of like people showing like the Wikipedia like changes happening, and man, it's insane. It's like refixed, dude, hilarious. So players will experience the intertwined stories of Naoe, an adept shinobi assassin from the Iga province, and Yasuke, the powerful samurai of historical legend. Discover their personal stories, meet pivotal historical figures, and shape the duo's common destiny as they usher in a new era for Japan. I will look up here in a second, like his history here, because I want to know how much they juiced out of this. So Assassin's Creed, it's going to be released on pretty much everything. As Naoe and Yasuke, players can master 2 complementary playstyles, with each character featuring their own progression paths, skills, weapons, options, and stats, Ubisoft said. Whether they embrace Naoe's stealth skills or Yasuke's combat prowess, players will have plenty of ways to approach objectives. With Naoe, they will experience refined infiltration mechanics using light, noise, sound, or shadows, and changing surroundings to avoid detection from enemies. So pretty much a ninja. While Yasuke, they will be able to take on large groups of enemies with brutal precision. And then you have 3 editions of the games if you want to know what they are. Gold, Ultimate Collectors. I'm not going to be getting it because I don't really care. I think I stopped playing Assassin's Creed after Brotherhood. I got like halfway through 3 and then I just got tired of it. We're going to mute that.
Here to experience both, and we cannot squeeze both fantasy into one character because samurai and shinobi came from a different social class. They have different lives, so we cannot really mix them together.
Bullshit, you can't. You kidding me?
Character because samurai and shinobi came from a different social class. They have different lives, so we cannot really mix them together.
They straight up did that with Ghost of Tsushima. What are you talking about?
Really exciting opportunity for the narrative team. We approached it in the same way that so much of the work is done in Assassin's Creed, which is really in terms of research and history.
Bullshit.
Not
you found the
a lot
one
is
black
known
guy
about him, but what we did know, or
Wait,
we
what
do
did she
know
say?
first, not a lot is known about him, but what we did know, or we do know, is that he arrived in Japan in 1579, right when our game.
Not a lot is known about him. So here's gonna, dude. How long is this game? I want to know how long is this game. They are gonna milk the crap out of this. Oh my gosh.
Starts. And that he had relationships with some of the most interesting people in our setting, like Oda Nobunaga, the Portuguese, and Jesuits, which made it very sort of tantalizing and enticing from a narrative perspective to come in and start weaving these facts with story in between.
With story in between. Something tells me it's going to be more fictional than nonfiction. Or no, it's going to be more fictional than, yeah, right. Because fiction is not real, and then nonfiction is real.
The more we read about the character, the more he was inspiring for us. He's a foreigner discovering Japan, and we thought it's the perfect.
You know who would be a good main character? Someone who is actually native of Japan. You did it for everything else.
Fit
This
because
is so
he's
stupid.
discovering Japan, and you are discovering Japan also.
And on the flip side, we have Naoe, who comes from the province of Iga, which is a remote mountainous area, fiercely independent, known as the birthplace of shinobi. So they're very contrasting perspectives that really expose a lot of different sides and facets of the era.
When Oda,
but you picked the one black guy.
Completely destroy Iga. You have Yasuke and Oda.
You're literally saying this is a great way to tell like the history of Japan at the time, but you're picking a guy whose history is very scarce and very little is known about him. Are you kidding me? Gosh, these people. This is how I feel sorry for for black people, because this is what these guys think of you. That because you can't do anything, so they're gonna do something for you because they care so much.
That coming to destroy the
insulting.
So it can kind of create this interesting tension between two characters.
Why not make an Assassin's Creed that takes place in Africa or something? What's stopping you from going over there? I'm sure there's plenty of cultural history down there. I'm assuming if that took place, would you go ahead and then like find like maybe the one like a rare story about a Japanese person and make them the prime character? No, you wouldn't. They wouldn't.
We were able to connect her to the province of Iga and the legendary Igan shinobi historical figure, Fujibayashi Nagato, who's her father in the game. So we understand why she has the skills that she has and the values that she learns from her father in the people of Iga, which are valor, benevolence, and wisdom. And as a young person,
Benevolence,
at the
as
start of
she's
the game, we
stabbing
get
a
to
guy
see
in the
now we
throat.
acquire even more of that wisdom as the story unfolds.
And if you ask anybody, it's super clear that samurai will be combat heavy and a shinobi will be stealth heavy.
Gosh, this is so dumb. I'm not listening to any more of this. This is so stupid. So insulting. Here I'm pulling here. Who knows on how biased everything is, but here's Yasuke from Britannica. Served at the Daimyo Oda Nobunaga during the Sengoku state period. Sengoku period. He was the first known foreigner to achieve samurai status. Was he now? Let's see. Not much is known. Birth name unknown. Date of birth unknown. Though many estimates point in the 1550s. What? Based on what? What are the talk about the estimates? While he is known to have been born from Africa, the exact location of his birth is unknown. Historians speculate that he may have been born in what is today Ethiopia, Mozambique, or South Sudan. Citing evidence connecting to his name, his physical appearance as described by his contemporaries, trade relationships among Japan and Africa, and other factors. It is unknown whether he was enslaved or transported from Africa. It is possible, according to some historians, he may have left Africa as a mercenary. What is known definitely is that he arrived in 1579 with an Italian Jesuit missionary, possibly as his bodyguard. It is not known whether Yasuke was enslaved or free at that time. Look at this. They have nothing to go on. And it's just because he was black. Ugh. So the guy that he came with traveled to Kyoto, met Nobunaga, he was trying to unify Japan. Nobunaga was stunned by his appearance, both his height and his skin color, as it's recorded in the diary of the samurai Matsudaira Ayatada. His height was Shishaku, 2 sons, roughly 6 foot 2 inches. I mean, okay. He was black and his skin was like charcoal. Yasuke would have towered over the average Japanese person of that era. The majority of Japanese people, including Nobunaga, had never seen a black man. Upon meeting him, Yasuke was partly stripped and scrubbed, and Nobunaga believed that his skin was dirty. So he gained Nobunaga's favor. He assumed Yasuke knew Japanese well enough to have conversations with Nobunaga. How did he gain favor? They believed that he quickly proved to Nobunaga's skill. Okay. Soon after the first meeting, he granted Yosuke his Japanese name, accepted him into the service, and made him the first recorded foreigner to receive the title of samurai. Yosuke was one of the few people who dined with Nobunaga. Okay, so Britannica is not going. They're going to keep declaring that he's samurai. But they're trying to say he's a samurai, but he's a retainer. According to Japan, we got Japan welcomes you. So he was a man of African origin who served as a trainer and weapon bearer to Nobunaga. There you go, right there. Nobunaga was impressed of his strength and his intelligence. Yeah, they're going to conveniently... You think they're going to actually show, like, actually what happened? Like, his discrimination and his prejudice that he faced? You think they're actually going to show that in the game, or are they just going to change history by saying, like, he was just this badass guy who everyone, you know, loved and held respect for? Despite this, he remained loyal. Yeah, okay. Retainer. Now, does retainer mean... So he invited Yasuke to become his personal bodyguard and gave him the rank of samurai, which was a rare honor of the foreigner. Despite his status as samurai, he faced discrimination and prejudice from some of Nobunaga's retainers, who were uncomfortable with the idea of a black man serving Japanese lord. However, he valued his loyalty and bravery, and he remained in his service to this day. Might be a picture of him getting awfully close to that man satchel. See, they keep throwing around samurai and retainer, though. So which is it? Like, are they both? Yeah, I mean, this is going to dive into stuff. I mean, good for the guy. Like, in the end, like, cool story, very cool, but we all know why they chose to go with him. We all know why. And of course, they're going to fudge everything they can. Anywho, apparently Danny DeVito here would want to be Wario in Mario Brothers sequel. So in a recent interview, veteran actor Danny DeVito said he would be up for taking on a role of Wario should the character appear in the Super Mario Bros. Sequel. In an interview with YouTuber The Movie Dweeb, DeVito was told how fans would like to see him take on the role of Mario's rotund yellow rival. You can check out the interview below. DeVito is known in recent years for his iconic raspy voice and his chaotic energy he brings to It's Always Sunny. Fans also famously requested him to play Detective Pikachu in the titular films, a role which was given, obviously, but to Ryan Reynolds. And apparently Super Mario Brothers is now available.
What the world really wants, needs, is you as Wario in a Super Mario Bros. Sequel.
Oh, here
Tell
we go.
them that I'm going to take them to the cleaners, but that I should be in the movie.
World really wants, needs, is you as Wario in a Super Mario Bros. Sequel.
Yeah, you never know
Mario.
what happens in the world. I'm up for a lot of things, you know. Yeah, you know, up for. I'm ready to do a lot of things. So whatever's coming, you know, I look at, I see, I evaluate. I mean, you know, and
I'll have a word with Chris Pratt, see what I can make happen.
Yeah, let him know that you should tell them that I'm going to take them to the cleaners, but that I should be in the movie.
Oh, there you
that's
go.
all I've got
So
time for.
very,
Listen.
very short clip, but he says he's down. Dude, I think it'd be awesome if it was like Danny DeVito as Wario and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Waluigi. Dude, that would be amazing. Like, get the twins characters like behind the scenes. That would be so funny. What's also funny too is technically Danny DeVito could also play a live action Wario as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Danny DeVito would be a good Wario? I think he actually would. He was Phil in Hercules. I like Danny DeVito. I think Danny DeVito is actually a really good actor. So I got this. This caught my eye just because I still try to collect my Dragon Ball Z collectible card games every now and then. The 5 most expensive Pokemon trading card game cards ever sold in history. So 3 hours ago, let's check it out. What do we got? So the Pokemon trading card game has been a great experience that has been part of the franchise for nearly 25 years. Over this time, we have seen a large number of expansions that have added pocket monsters to the game, as well as new mechanics that attempt to replicate elements that have appeared in video games. However, we cannot deny that, as with any type of trading card game, collecting is one of the legs in which they stand, either for sentimental value or because your favorite Pokemon comes out. This has led to some of the cards becoming true cult objects, worthy of being kept by a few, and has sometimes led to be a simple cardboard card become something more. This depends on the quality, the artist, or in some cases, the number of cards produced. This time, we will look at which Pokemon TCG cards have been the truly holy grail among collectors, updated to 2024. I can already assume right now that the OG original Charizard is probably up there. I know someone who has one. Oop, continue read. Blast. Okay, so number 5, Blastoise, the Wizards of the Coast Presentation Galaxy Star. Halo. So we got an 8.5 here. Yep, this is like the OG that I remember. So released in 1998, value $360,000. Dang, like perfect, or like this one right here. Wow. One of the rarest cards in history. Excuse me, as it's currently unknown exactly how many copies of this card exist. Created of Wizards of the Coast, creators of Magic the Gathering, to win the bidding for the rights to the English version of Pokemon TCG. Oh no. Number 4 is base set Charizard. Okay. So this is the Wizards of the Coast. Oh yeah, I think that's a little bit different right there from what I remember. I was going to say I had a Blastoise, but I think it was like base set. So yep, the base set Charizard Holo, the first edition, shadowless. That is $420,000, released in 1999. Damn. The dream of many, the object of which Pokemon card collecting began to go viral. There are only 121 Charizard games with a Gem Mint 10 rating, according to Auction House PWCC. 10 rating, and this is one of them. Holy crap. Dang. Number 3, Trophy Pikachu, silver, second tournament card. That was read very poorly. So this is near mint to mint. It's got a rank 8. There he is, looking all cute. It's Japanese. So 1998, tax that is, 444,000 value. A card awarded at the Lizardon, Japanese name for Charizard. Man, I never looked into what the Japanese names are. I like Lizardon. Mega Battle, considered the first official national Pokemon tournament. It was awarded to the top 3 players in the tournament. Only 14 of these cards exist. Damn. There you go. There he is, holding up that trophy. He's like, yeah, I'm Pikachu. Top Sun Charizard, another Charizard. This is number 2, blue back card. So this one got a 10 out of 10. Oh, wow. That's cool. Like the artwork. Got a bunch of Pokemon outlines in the back. So this one's 493,230. 1995, which apparently is debatable. Although it is not part of the TCG as we know it today, it is one of the most sought after by collectors. This card appeared in the gum boxes sold by Topsun in Japan between 1995 and 1997, a date that is debated by fans. To have this card in a Gem Mint 10 grading is a real treasure. All right, number 1, Illustrator Koro Koro Comics promo, a Pikachu illustrated card. There it is. I've seen that before. Released 1998, 5,275,000. Damn. The holy grail of Pokemon card collecting. It was a prize in an art competition in the 1990s, and there are less than 20 in the world. The fact that celebrities like Logan Paul and former New York Giants football player Blake Martinez have bought and sold these cards have given them a higher visibility and value in recent years. Yeah, and that definitely can influence it as well. And that's probably why, I mean, it even says it. That's 100% sure why that spiked. There are some stuff that just should not be this expensive. It's the same with the video game bubble. Depending on who promotes it and who just claims that it is, they can really inflate the cards. There you go. Those were the 5 most expensive Pokemon cards sold in history, ratings and everything. Do you guys still collect cards? Let me know in the comments below. I still try to with my Dragon Ball Z collectible card game, the OG and the Panini when I can. But that was insane. All right. We are coming up on the main topic that I want to get talking about. And this is crazy when I even saw it. My favorite anime of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Creator Hideaki Anno reveals potential plans for sequel. This comes from CBR. So it highlights the possibility of an Evangelion sequel, saying it could be made by someone else. Well, then is it really Eva? That's the original question. Is it really Eva? Because some people will even say Rebuild isn't Eva. I, for one, say the OG and the OG movies is Eva, while Rebuild is like Hideaki Anno when he was more happy. But I would tell you to watch the OG series over Rebuild because that is what his mind was at the time. And as far as I'm concerned, you need to learn at a young age, which is pretty much what a lot of people who first watched it saw it at a young age. Because you could relate to the character. So a 14-year-old just getting his mind shattered. So Neon Genesis Evangelion creator Hideaki Anno has highlighted the possibility of a sequel to the iconic franchise while stating it could even be made by someone other than himself. So Anno sat down with Asahi Shimbun to discuss his career and his new Hideaki Anno exhibition in Nagoya, Japan. Oh, he has an exhibition. That's cool. When asked whether he wanted to make sequels to Evangelion or if he wanted someone else to make them, he replied, there may be something to that. The prospect of an Evangelion sequel made by someone other than myself could exist. I haven't decided yet, or rather, it's better for the work if there's a high degree of freedom. Whether it's commercially viable or interesting would depend on the content. It's not like I'm saying I'll never make another one again or anything like that. While an Evangelion sequel would undoubtedly command widespread fan interest, Anno's other answers from the same interview suggested he wouldn't be the one directing. Anno is currently working on a special anniversary project for Space Battleship Yamato, saying that it represents a break from movies. He added he was mentally and physically wrecked by releasing films in succession, having done 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, Shin Ultraman, and Shin Kamen Rider in 2023. Anno is well known in the industry for his high standards and involving himself in all aspects of the title. So Thrice Upon a Time is the latest installment in the franchise, marking the end of the rebuild tetralogy. 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 New word of the day. Let's see how we correctly pronounce this. You know, trilogy. Tetralogy, according to Merriam-Webster. Tetralogy. There you go. All right. And then you could link to one of their articles about seeing how the difference between the anime and the rebuilds may shine some light on how Anno sees the future of the series. In an interview from 2021 suggests that any continuation wouldn't be a sequel to Thrice Upon a Time, with Anno saying, at this point, I don't feel I'm going to continue the story where I left off. Oh, there's another one? This was done back in August. And then we just learn where everything is licensed. But definitely the idea rolling around in his head. Very interesting. Very cool. I thought I was... He recently... Man, let me see if I can find one last article here, because let's see. Hideki... let's see. Oh, no. He made a comment, I thought, recently about his thoughts on like where anime is going. I had it. I knew I should have bookmarked it. Dang it. Derp. He was talking about like the states of anime. States of anime. At least I thought it was Hideki Anno. Maybe it was someone else. I thought maybe I'm just confusing another artist here. The one thing I can do, excuse me, I can do is, let's see, go back history. Do 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 do. Come on, baby. Don't fail me now. Dang it. I had it open. Where did it go? Well, that sucks. Oh, I knew when I had it open I should have saved it. Now I can't find it. I could have sworn there was something about like the state of anime and how it's kind of like imploding on itself, which in a way I kind of think it is, because they're trying to pump out all these animes and stuff like that, and unfortunately a lot of the animation quality is just dropping. The rarest Nintendo games and how much they are worth. I mean, we already did a... You know what? We'll go ahead and do that. Let's end off on looking at some more ridiculously expensive items that get propped up from Game Rant, excuse me. The rarest Nintendo games and how much they are worth. Let's check this out, and then we will sign off for tonight. So Nintendo's been in the video game industry for over 40 years. That means there's been plenty of times for some games to be extremely rare and valuable. The rarest games are still in the NES. since they have the most value when it comes to vintage and older games and tend to be harder to find. These games don't have to be good, popular, or even finished to be valuable. That right there is bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Then why is it valuable? Who cares? Why are you declaring that it's so expensive? Sometimes it's best not to give these sort of items like the price increase that it's given. It's just so dumb. All right, number 5. Okay, these classic video game characters made their first debut. Okay, list of so this was updated on May 14th, 2024. So yesterday. Mega Man 5-screw version. The Blue Bombers' first game, the average price is $10,000. Look at that. Nintendo Entertainment System, PlayStation 1, and mobile. Why is it worth that much if you can just get it elsewhere? The original Mega Man was a bit overlooked when it first appeared on store shelves. This is partly due to its infamous terrible box art. Another reason why that anyone who played the game was quick to point out the high level of difficulty to others. A sequel wasn't even planned and only received one thanks to the team of developers who completed it in their spare time. The first batch of NES games were held together with 5 screws. This was replaced with a cartridge that replaced 2 of the screws with plastic clamps. The original 5 screws Mega Man commands for a fair price on the modern vintage video game market. I mean, do we have a picture? Apparently not. Okay. Donkey Kong 64, the gray cartridge. 1700? What? The gray cartridge version is the one you want. Why? The vast majority of people who own Donkey Kong 64 for the N60 phone owned the version with a yellow cartridge. There's a few promotional copies that had a gray cartridge. These versions also have not for resale printed on the label, and the ESRB rating is RP, rating pending, rather than E for everyone. These gray versions are extremely rare, hence the greatly increased price versus the yellow card. Okay, I didn't have Donkey Kong 64, so I didn't know that it was yellow. The official value of the game has hovered around 400 until October 2022, when it ballooned around 1500. Why did it balloon that much? Why? 400 to 1500. $1,100 spike. Insane. And stupid. Power Blade 2. Overlooked to overvalued. Average price $1,000. Made by Natsume, 1992. Not many gamers noticed Power Blade 2 back in the day. The reason for this is simple. It was released for the NES a year after the release of the Super Nintendo. Gamers had already moved on from the NES and were playing games on the Sega Genesis, SNES, and TurboGrafx 16. Power Blade 2 is a side-scrolling action platformer, and a good one at that. The fun factor of the game and the game's rarity has both contributed to a steady increase in the value. Wasn't around until the mid-2021 that the price began spiking to its current $1,000 value. I mean, Battletoads. Wasn't Battletoads like kind of released near the end of the NES library? I don't think that one's that crazy. Ooh, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the holographic label. It's a race against time to get this game before the price goes up. The average price, $12.50. The odd one out is Majora's Mask, but it was never a fan fave. It's the only game in the entire franchise that's a direct sequel to the one before it in a series that's known for a wonky, non-linear timeline. So the game has stood the test of time and is currently enjoying a resurgence. New and sealed copies are going more than $1,000, and the price is rapidly growing up, especially for any special or collector's editions that are rare and hard to find. The example here is the one with the holographic label, which is currently on the top in terms of rarity and value. Hold on a second. Dang it. I just have the original in the box. There was a friend back in the day that let me borrow the holographic one. Wonder if he still has it. I mean, it's way back in the day. And I shouldn't even say he was a friend, acquaintance. Oh, there you go. Myriad 6-1, Cultron 6-1, 2200, 1992. This is an unlicensed compilation cartridge for the NES. This game was originally titled Cultron 6-1, but when Cultron went out of business, the remaining stock was purchased by Myriad Incorporated and resold as the Myriad 6-1. So the game, 6 games on the cart are clones of popular games like Space Harrier and Buster Bros. So the Cultron version is rare, but the Myriad version was limited to 888 copies. What a weird number to pick. Each copy was numbered, and for those who had a copy with matching serial numbers for the card instructions and box, the value significantly increases. A copy of Myriad 6-1 commonly sells for about $1,200, but a complete box copy is about $3,500. Dang. Why did they type it like this? It like makes it looks like it's worth more, but it's only that. Weird. So Hagane, the final conflict. It's a valuable hidden gem. It's 900, 1995. Cap Productions or CA Productions. Game that's currently enjoying a resurgence thanks to the nostalgia factor. Hagen, the final conflict. It's a classic side scroller that mimics other favorites like Ninja Gaiden. Like so many others, they were released on the SNES platform in the mid 1990s. It arrived too late to make an impact before the N64 arrived and sucked all the air out of the gaming room. Circulation was limited. Few copies are still available for collectors. Old school platformers are riding a trend right now as it is, and this game is fairly rare, which adds even more to its value. New and sealed copies are about $7,500, with prices for loose and unused copies also trending upwards. Dang. So The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons Limited Edition. Both versions of the game in one box, $1,200. Damn. So there was great games, by the way, too. I have them both. So the game incorporates the changing of the seasons, and some areas are only accessible during a certain season. So apparently the 2-in-1, the limited edition, there were only 500 copies, which included both games, as well as promotional items like a shirt and an actual working boomerang. Wow. Price is currently around $1,200, but a complete in-box copy can fetch around $2,200. Damn. An actual working boomerang. Can companies even get away with doing stuff like that anymore? Probably not. Be awesome though. See, a training simulator worth thousands. Average price $2,700. Well, yeah, it's living out its name. These cartridges are exceptionally rare since they were made specifically for professional target audience and training practice. The game came as a complete package that included the entire Super Nintendo Entertainment System, a loose version of the game, and a training rifle. Only loose versions are currently available. So the game was never intended for a resale or a retail display. And these are going for a nice chunk of change, as it's over $2,500. If a complete package were ever to become available, or an unsealed one, the price would be exceptionally more, as they probably don't even exist. Extertainment Mountain Bike Rally and Speed Racer combo. 2 games for the price of 1, so $2,500. So another 2-for-1er. Super NES cartridge combines 2 popular racing games, and plenty of fans seek out the ROM just to experience the game if they can't find the cartridge. Dude, that's the only time they're probably going to mention a ROM. I guarantee you every game on this list, someone probably went and got a ROM of it. I really wish they would have pictures in this. Come on now. Who did that? What did I say? Game Rant? Lazy. Nintendo's franchises are packed with iconic villains, while most are beyond redemption. Okay, with the price tag of wait, what? These breaks are really weird. Because now, Why is it saying 2,500 up here, but now down here it's like 11,000 for a new sealed copy? Okay. Complete copies are 500. Oh, okay. And loose copies are 2,500. Damn. Peekaboo Poker, an unlicensed game with adult themes. There you go. Average price 1,700. There you go. If you want some adult rated games, play some poker, probably strip poker. So Peekaboo Poker isn't just a card game for the original NES. The players' opponents are all women. They spend most of the game flirting in various states of undress. Complete copies cost $1,600 and loose copies for $1,200, which is a lot for a cartridge on its own. Other reasons for high price include that if it was an unlicensed game and it contained some raunchy content that Nintendo would have rejected out of hand because of its family-friendly philosophy. It's a dicey investment since the price tends to fluctuate, but if collectors keep their eye on the market, the resale value is worth it. Dude, Aerial Fighters is a great game. 1,400? Oh, I'm thinking of Aerial Fighters 2. That one's I believe, for the Super Nintendo. Aerial Fighters is a game that was poorly received back in the day. Back in the day, this game was an arcade port of a vertical scrolling shoot 'em. The SNES version suffered from excessive slowdown, which is the one thing one doesn't want in a shmup. Shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up. This game also went under the radar due to it being released shortly after the release of the SNES. Many gamers were still happy with their NES, and by the time they upgraded the SNES, the game was no longer on store shelves. This is one of the easier games on the list to find, but it will cost about as much as 3 new PS5s. That is dumb. Oh gosh, yeah, Chinaman 2. I think we all know about that. Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah, the article even mentions him. 12,000. Amazing Tatter. Possibly the most valued official licensed Game Boy game. 58,000. Oh, wait. I guess it just said Nintendo, so I guess it's like combining. Yeah, because we read the Donkey Kong one. Okay, this is just combining everything. So that Aerial Fighters for Super Nintendo is that expensive. Damn. It's fairly recent entry on the Nintendo's Most Wanted list. Only appeared on the radar as a collector's item in 2017. And of course, immediately was discovered, went up 1,700. Loose copies are about 500. Dang. Flintstone Surprise at Dino Park, a Blockbuster video rental exclusive. Average price 1,500. Okay. That sure doesn't sound like fun. Apparently, a complete box can be worth up to 3,500. DuckTales, the Gold Cartridge Edition, 1,500. Only 150 of these kits produced. Dang. Average price is 1,600. Mortal Kombat 2, not for resale. A promotional copy of a classic game, average price 1,200. Someone own an NES. Okay, this is saying Mortal Kombat 2 for the SNES is hardly rare or expensive. A working card is acceptable, can be sold around for $10. This version is distinguished by the label. Okay, so this is talking about the SNES one. NES Power Pad test cartridge, 2,500. Star Fox Weekend Competition, 2,600. Apparently, it was only for it's a competition cartridge, has altered versions of the first 2 stages. Players compete to the highest score after 5 minutes of playing. Okay. Rumored to be only around 2,000. Cartridge itself sells for 3,000. Yeah, little Samson. Who really cares? Yeah, 1,800. I know about that one. Complete copies 4,500. It should not be that much. Sonic Heroes and Super Monkey Ball Duo Pack, 3,000. The Duo Pack is the most expensive Nintendo GameCube. Sonic Heroes was okay, better than Sonic 06. Super Monkey Ball is one of the best games for the GameCube. These two are not worth anywhere close to what the dual pack is worth. Yeah, well over 3,000. All righty. There you guys go. What do you got? Yeah, Game Rant. What do you guys think? You think games should be worth that much? I don't think so. Regardless of how many they made and how rare they are. I mean, if the game sucks, the game sucks, you know. But hope you guys enjoyed the show for tonight. Make sure to like and subscribe. We were on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Also, check out my descriptions. Feel free to give a follow if you so desire. And we'll be doing, let's see, what do we got here in terms of redirect? Nina looks like she's still online over on Rumble, but I mean, she might sign off any minute. No one on YouTube here. Okay. Here, let's go ahead and we'll raid Nina. Unable to process at this time. Why? All right. Thanks for all the support, you guys. You guys have a good rest of your day. Take care, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.